Okay, another day, some more terminal game programming stuff. So, today, to start out with, here I am. I'm going to make a branch, or I'm going to commit and back up stuff. I'm going to make a new branch for a feature. So this first feature today is going to be adding walls. So right now, it generates floors, just randomly, and I'm going to make walls to make it look a little bit more 3D. So first off, I am creating int variables to store the color code. Oh, code blocks crashed. It does that. So different colors for each of those. We're going to have the ceiling, which is just going to be like the black top. You know, if you've ever made a tile map in like an RPG, I should use this as an opportunity to use Emacs. Okay, so I'm going to try to use Emacs. Don't laugh at me. I only started like last week, and you know, it definitely has a learning curve. Anyway, so while I'm messing around, I'm looking for preferences on increasing the font size. Oh, there's Tetris. I found Tetris in Emacs. And I'm like, how do I close this? Oh, there, okay. I actually spend quite a bit of time trying to adjust things because for some reason its tab default is 2 spaces, it looks like, instead of 4. So I'm just looking through the menu. Is what I need here. I don't know. Let's do a Google search. And by Google search, I clearly mean a DuckDuckGo search. So here I am. Okay, I can increase the font size. But then how do I change this tabbing width? I don't know. And then it's like, hey, it's doing some stuff. I don't know what this means. Because all I did was read through the tutorial in Emacs and kind of look up commands as I needed it. And I don't know how to change the tab width. So it's like, hey, use Control C, then period, to choose a different C style. And I'm like, I don't, it just seems to want a number, and or maybe a name or something. I don't know what the options are. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can just auto format the code to all be in the same style with 2 space tabs, so at least it's consistent. And so it's like, hey, install a Clang format. I've never actually used Clang before, but let's try it. And then it's like, hey, you need to edit your Emacs file. And then I'm like, where's the Emacs file? I don't know. How do I edit that? Not in Windows. I'm in Linux. Where is it in Linux? So, yeah, I tried to look in the home directory. There's an Emacs folder, but I don't know where that file is going to be. Yep. So eventually I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Turning down the sound. Just looking down here, don't see a file. Don't know. We're just gonna roll with it for now. Maybe I'll learn this before next week. 'Cause I don't know what I'm doing. This is pretty roundabout. Okay, so next, excuse me, we're just gonna go with it, I guess. Well, maybe I'll look at the docs some more. I tried to just call that thing even though I didn't have it in the initialization file, and I was like, maybe I could just write a command to actually like include Clang stuff, and it's like, nah, whatever. Okay, so whatever. We're gonna create a setup function to initialize the colors of the ceiling, wall, and floor. And I'm going to set those up with the wrong name because I don't have any sort of auto-completion in here. I'll go fix that here in a moment, but those variable names are wrong. Cool. Oh, maybe I was talking to somebody here because there were quite a few people at Flyover Indy today, so I'm gonna cut the video. Okay, now we're in main, or not, or something, I don't know. Oh, I think I hit Control Z, which hides the window. Because there's a different keyboard shortcut to undo things. And so, what am I doing? I'm trying some keyboard commands. I don't remember what I'm trying to do. Just very, very confused in general. Probably looking something up, maybe? I don't know, maybe talking to people. Moving the cursor around. Okay, we need to use the setup function to set those tile type colors. And I'm like, oh, we have to go to the other buffer. Also, those keyboard shortcuts that it shows in the menu, I don't know what that frickin' keyboard shortcut is. So, well, see, this thing's default tabbing is weird. It's like, so tabbing over is like 2 spaces, and then tabbing inside of a parameter list is like 8 spaces or something. So that was fun. Yeah, so we're gonna set, oh yeah, what's the paste command? I always have to look those up. Because I know that Emacs predates a lot of our modern keyboard usage, but I'm very used to using Control X, Control C, and Control V for those keyboard commands. And Control Z for undo, but no, can't do that here. Like, there are some features I saw in Emacs that seem really good. If I were to learn it better, I think it would be very useful in my probably day job programming. Maybe a little bit here as well, but I gotta learn it, and that's a big hurdle. Okay, now what am I doing? Oh yeah, so changing the color that's being set up for each thing. These are color codes. Okay, fixing those variable names. I typed the wrong name there for the ceiling. It's not the floor, but I will fix that a little bit later. Trying to erase lines, but selecting is weird. I believe Control E is to go to the end of the line. Here I am going to my Emacs cheat sheet that I've been writing as I learn things. And Control A goes to the beginning of the line, so I can erase things that way. Change that to the floor color code, and then where I'm adding paths, and get rid of that comment. Change that to the floor color code, and this to the floor color code, and then trying to save, which is Control X and then S. And for some reason the make file didn't do anything when I hit make, so we'll try it again. It does it that time. Oh, gonna look up. I'm trying to do search now to look for where m_floor is, and I don't know how to actually scroll to the next item once you've searched for an item and found the first one. So here I am looking for the next set of keyboard shortcuts to go to the next place where it's found. Why am I not finding m_floor with the one that's causing the build error? It is in this file. Well, it's right here. Oh well. Also, that's the wrong, it should be the ceiling color code. So, let's get to watch some bugs happen, and I'm like, okay, what happened there? Let's, I don't know, try to just run this, and I'm like, is the release the latest, or the debug the latest? And I think that makefile is compiling to both. And we have this weird graphical thing, and I'm like, what the heck? Well, why is it not drawing right? Now why is it blue? I don't know. I accidentally named that because I was hitting a bunch of keys and trying to do stuff, and then, you know, how these things go. So, just checking the file dates, and Now I'm going to commit what I had in this branch and check out the master branch and build it and make sure that it still works right. I didn't like inadvertently break anything. So then, yep, that one's still not really doing that correctly. So I'm like, maybe I'll debug it by hard coding values here. Also, let's put it in the log. I mean, it would help if my create empty tiles first section wasn't using the floor color as the empty tile color. Empty tiles are supposed to be the ceiling. Check out this log. Oh, it didn't give me the latest log. What happened? Did I forget to save? I think I forgot to save. Save anyway? Yes. Okay, build again. Now look at the log. Is it in there? Did I forget to save again? I don't know. Oh yeah, I need to put map setup before generate map, because generate map uses those colors. And I'm looking at how to cut. How do I cut this block of text? I can use that menu, and then how do I paste it? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, run again. Oh, now everything's blue. Why is everything blue? Because I made the floor and the wall the same color, or the floor and the ceiling. So I'm like, Thinking, how do I debug this? Oh, well, that's supposed to be the ceiling code. Let's try that again. Oh, I don't think it rebuilt. I think I had to rebuild it. Looking around. Where are we at? Build. Nope, still blue. Why is it blue? I don't know. Pass in. I tried to hard code some numbers. Save, build. Why is everything still blue? I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember how I fixed this. So, well, you're gonna look at the main file. I'm gonna change these to see if that gives us something else. Now we have red text and a green background. Blue and white? Wait, why is that still red and green? Okay, at this point I think I'm thinking it's a memory error, like I really messed up something. Because that, it kind of seems like a memory error, right? If it's using weird data that's not supposed to have. That's seemingly random. But then I open code blocks and then it gives me something else. So maybe the makefile wasn't updating the code. I don't know. So, yeah, we'll try closing all that. Reopening the files. Because I don't know. Usually, like in other text editors, there's usually a keyboard command to reload the file, like Control R. But in Emacs, there's not. Unless you like add that in there. Here I am, just going down every line and hitting tab to have it re-tab itself over. But I don't really like how it's doing the curly braces. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll fix this later. Okay, so here I am just messing around with formatting when I still have some bugs to work out, but whatever. Being productive. So, let's add walls. Oh, I guess, technically it looks okay now, because it was blue with black ceilings, right? So now it's time to add walls. And then I'm like, maybe I should put them here. Wait a minute. Maybe I should put these somewhere else. Maybe this should just go in its own thing. So down here, let's add walls above floors. So I'm going to do a loop. We're going to go over all the tiles. And basically, for any given tile, if it is a floor, and the thing immediately above it is a ceiling, then we're going to replace the ceiling with a wall. So if it's a floor with another floor directly above it, we're not going to replace it. It's, just more floor. But if we have a floor and a ceiling right next to each other vertically, we're gonna replace the top one with the wall color. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, boop, ba-doop, boop. Is this a floor? Is there just ceiling directly above? Replace it with a wall. Ceiling color code. We also need to make sure we're not going out of bounds. Set that to a wall. Gonna try to build it yet? Let's try to build and run. There we go. I'm gonna fix these colors though, because again, I don't really want to use the ASCII art, I just want to use the tile colors. So build, run. There we go, we got some walls. My character can still go wherever it wants, because I don't have collision detection yet. But I'll be doing that soon. Okay, also setting this up, oop, that's the wrong one. It's a little bit hard to focus when I'm talking to other people, so, but sometimes I'm like, I notice things a lot faster, but there we go, see? Oh yeah, did I? Yeah, okay. So, basically rooms won't be at position 0 for the wipe position, so that even if the room is close to the top of the screen, it'll still have a wall. Here I am realizing I don't know how to merge branches from the command line, because at work I just push to a pull request and then somebody else approves and then merges it. So I haven't actually, I don't know, maybe I've looked it up before, but I don't remember. Also, so let's just go through Bitbucket. They also have a pull request feature, even though I'm just going to merge in my own stuff, but whatever. Create a pull request, merge this pull request. I don't need to approve my own work. There we go, it's merged. Check out master again. Pull the latest, get the latest. Now all the buffers need to be reloaded. I don't know what I'm doing, you know? That's just how programming is. So looking up, how do I reload the buffer? Oh, you need to use one of the, what is it, Alt X commands, maybe? Something? I don't know. Then I'm like, you know, I need to be able to update this file. Let's just clone my cheat sheet stuff in here. We'll just open that in Genie. And type in whatever I need. So far in this video, I've used Nano to read the logs. I've used Genie for just writing my MD file, and then code blocks and Emacs to write my code. Okay, so building. Okay, yeah, I was placing the character at the starting point. And then what? What are we gonna do next? Adding the note on reloading the document, which I lost. Now I have to look it up again. Okie dokie. And we'll make the stairs down. I'm like, what's a good symbol for that? For now, let's just make it something. And we'll just make it red for now. Set the position to where the end room is. Make sure to draw it, otherwise it'll be invisible. And build and run. And then there's the stairs down. Currently does not do anything, just as a tile. Okay, time to make, what was that? Keep moving on the floor. So adding collision, yay! Which I'm going to do here. I'm like, I guess the player needs knowledge of the map. Which the player is an entity object. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to pass the map in, right? The map, oh, also if you generate a map, it'll reset the start room, end room, and the position stuff. Paste. So we're going to add the map argument in the list. I'm going to need some sort of function. Is this the map? I think it is. What am I doing? Looking around, thinking. Well, first, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to go through this map thing because that would kind of create a circular dependency, right? So the map contains an array, a 2D array of tiles. Tiles are an entity. And then I was going to write the entity to take in a map to figure out if it can move in a specific direction. So I start writing it so that I can get a room, and then I'm like, wait, why do I have a room? The room structure doesn't have any info. Do I need a pointer to the other info? And then I'm like, wait, what is the room stuff actually stored as? It's actually an entity somewhere. I have no go there. I'm like, before I put the room in the vector of rooms, I need to point it to the tile information. And the tile information are entities. So then I'm like, okay, I need to add this here. So it's there to reference. But then, did I realize it yet? No. What am I doing? Where am I going? Okay, gonna just try to build to see if it works. I haven't updated the entities move function yet, so nope. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need a function to get a room, or get a room's tiles, or wait a minute, rooms aren't 2D arrays. Rooms is just a vector. I don't know. So I end up refactoring this stuff several times. This is why, people don't want other people watching them code, because they're like, okay, the first approach sucked. The second approach also sucked. The third approach was fine. So here I am, thinking, I guess, or maybe talking to somebody, I don't know. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'll need to pass in the entity to figure out what kind of code it has, if it has a floor code. And I'm going to need to have the map return an entity. And it's going to need to know which one to go based on which direction you're moving in. Going to move that to the global file. Open global. Throw it right there, maybe, if I can remember the paste function. We got it. Going back here. Okay, we need to return an entity instead of a room. I'm going to name it get room info. Then I'm going to return the entity of the room. And then I'm like, wait, it's not an XY coordinate. I can't do that. This isn't going to work. So I'm like, okay, I just need to return the tile, or maybe I had to think about it for a minute. What am I doing? Oh, pass in the direction that we need. So, okay, that's wrong, but again, I was probably talking to people, and it's easy to make mistakes when you're not fully paying attention. So, so fix that. Yep, there we go. So if the player's going to go north, we need to subtract from y. If they're going south, so on and so forth. And if the x or y is out of bounds, then we're going to return null pointer. Otherwise, now we're going to have to call map.getRoomInfo, and we're going to have to pass in all this information. If I were better at Emacs, I could probably type these 4 functions better, because they're all basically the same except for small differences, and I'm sure that there's some, I could have made a macro, but I wasn't even sure what I was about to type, so. moving this down, make it more readable. Then I'm like, oh, wait, if I declare a variable inside of my case statement, I have to wrap it in curly braces, because that's how it is in C++. Okay. So, get room info, we know the player's X and Y, and which way they're going. I'm also thinking to myself, this feels very roundabout, because I'm calling player.move. I have to send it the map information, but I also have to tell the map where the player's at, and I don't really like this solution, so I'm gonna change it again afterwards. Room was not declared. Yep, it's tiles, not room. I don't even know technically why I have that room vector. Seems like just, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'll fix it later. So return the address of the tile that's required. Generate map is not happy with the X and Y. Okay, yeah, I didn't need to add those pointers. So, there's still no collision because I haven't actually written a collision function yet. And I'm just sitting here. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, the coffee shop guy plays different music every time, and like the song that was playing at this point was like 5 minutes of just the most grating, squealy guitars. It was like so much noise. It was making my teeth hurt, and it was giving me a headache. I had to plug my ears. Usually this is why they put chill music in coffee shops, but no, this guy was playing some like random stuff, random hard rock. And normally I like hard rock, but not if it's gonna give me a headache. Like literally, you know how there's like a brown noise and there's like white noise, and this was like nails on chalkboard noise, but in guitar form. Okay, so I'm like, the entity will need to know its neighbor tile. It will need to know if that tile is a floor tile. So I'm also going to have to tell it the floor color is this, and you'll have to compare it to the tile you received from the map. And I'm still like, I really don't like how this is being implemented. I'm going to have to fix this in a minute. But first, I'm just getting it working, and then I'll fix it later. So if the neighbor tile is not the floor color, then we cannot move there. So just return. Get out of here. Is it going to work? It works! I can't run into ceilings or walls! So we're going to try to tell ignore the log.txt, but it ignored me. I don't really know why. And then we're just gonna push this and merge it again. And I guess do the pull request all over again. I mostly just created these branches so I could kind of mark in the video what I was working on where. Okay, and now I'm like, okay, I need to pull latest again. I'm going to close these because I don't know the keyboard shortcut to close the buffer. Reopen them. But actually I didn't pull master yet, so it's not going to... oh, where am I? What am I? Pull latest and master. Create a new branch. Rachel. Okay. I guess I'm talking to people again. Beep, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. Okay, new branch time. What am I gonna work on next? Thinking. Well, I guess I kind of wanted to make it a little bit Minecrafty. I am gonna work in code blocks again now. Because it feels good, man. And I'm also reformatting it with the auto formatter because it's that easy to just use it in code blocks. Okay, so created a new branch, I think. I don't know. I wasn't fully paying attention. And it went by kind of fast. So then I'm like, okay, let's just return the type of neighbor we're getting, and we're going to return the color value. Then I'm like, okay, all I need to send in is the color of the neighbor. And then I'm like, wait a minute, the entity still won't know if that's a movable. So I'll just change it to, can I move to this neighbor? So we'll just change that up here. They can move to there if it is the floor. And now the entity needs a lot less information. It just needs to know if it can move there. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Just a moment. All right. So now I'm just going to tell it, hey, you can move here. And then I'm like, wait, why does the function even need to know if it can move there? This is not the best way to do this. Let me change it around. Also, I'm going to take it outside of a switch statement because it's ugly. So if we're moving left and this is we can move left, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can change this even more. Let's make this create a direction. Move direction is unset. We're going to add it to the enum. And then we're going to look at the left. We're going to say the player is trying to move west if they're hitting left. So, hey, if they're hitting left, set that to west. You set a bunch of these. So we only have to write it once. We just have, look at this little thingy here, up, down, north, south, east, west, all of that. Tabbing isn't working, oh well, whatever. And then I can erase this part. And so then this is just one simple if statement with one function call. And then I'm going to also get rid of the switch stuff for my F2 and F4 commands, because switch statements really are only attractive if you have a really short one, in my opinion. Okay, so now, it just was giving me a warning. Yay, I still can't walk on the walls, yay, I did it. And then, wait, this wasn't the feature I was going to do, but I refactored it anyway, whatever. And now we're going to add rocks. Changing these to one-line statements because it's nicer looking. And make it a commit, I guess. Okay, now the rocks. Let's make some rocks. Maybe. I think that's what I do next. Yes, generate rocks. Yay! I need a rock color code. We need to set that up. And call this. I'm thinking, I don't know if we have a gray color. So we'll just make it white, and then we'll change the player to yellow. And try that out. And we will generate some random rocks. I'm thinking, how do we do this? Make sure they're on the floors. We don't want rocks in the ceiling. We're going to use a random number of rocks, maybe 5 to 10. For each rock that we're generating, we need to figure out which floor to put it on. This is actually where the rooms vector comes in handy, because the rooms vector just stores the x and y and the expand x and expand y, which is basically the width and height. And so I can randomly choose a index from that vector to get an x and y coordinate. So the x coordinate of the rock is going to be whatever room it's in, dot x and dot y. And it's just complaining about the unsigned int stuff. So we got some rocks. They're all in the top left corner of rooms. So let's make that a little different. We'll make it a random number between the top left corner and the bottom right corner. So try it out. We got rocks in rooms. And for some reason those over there, I don't know if that was a bug or just a rendering problem, I don't know. Now what? Thinking? Reading my code? Wondering why maybe the rocks did that? Didn't do it here. Also, I can't walk on the rocks because the code only accounts for floors. Then I'm like, okay, we're gonna need to change this up. I don't want to make a separate function for is this neighbor a rock. So I'm like, let's make an enum of the tile types. We'll have ceiling, wall, floor, rock, and enemy. And we'll just have this return what kind of tile type it is. And adjust this. So if it's a floor color, then we'll tell it it's a floor type. If it's a wall color, we'll return the wall type, and so on and so forth. And if for some reason that default case where it's out of bounds, then I'm going to, okay, well, I'll fix this part right here. So instead of bool is neighbor movable, it's bool statement is the floor, is the tile type equal to floor. Okay. So if the tile type is equal to the floor, then it's going to let you move. Now I can reuse this logic to make something like, oh, well, there. I'm just going to get the tile type separately. Clean it up that way. Now, if the move direction is not unset and the neighbor is a rock, then we'll call the mine function, which I will now have to write in the entity. I'm also thinking at this point, like maybe I need to have a base entity class and then make a player entity class, because the rocks aren't going to move and the rocks aren't going to mine other rocks. But for now, it's fine as it is. Code blocks, messing up again, reopen code blocks, there we go. And in the map, right, yeah, I need a function to mine it as well, so that we can get rid of the rock in the map. So we're trying to mine in such and such direction. And we're going to, I guess, adjust that. mtiles xy minus 1 dot set up. We're going to change it to a floor tile. And all of that. And again, assuming that I might have to adjust. No, these should all be in on the floor. So that should never go out of bounds. Should not. That's famous last words for programmers, but I think we're okay for now. Now what are we doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to add an inventory. So get random element, I'm going to make it so it can return, I don't know, like silver, gold, and all that. I'm like, okay, what are the elements? Let's do... I typed bronze, and I'm like, wait, do you mine bronze, or is that like an alloy? I don't remember. And then I'm trying to think of what Minecraft has. So, just gonna return a random type. Gonna hard code those just to be safe. Return an element. And let's also make something that gives us the string of the element. If this were C#, I could just do .toString for the enum, but it's not. I don't know if there's something in new version C++ that will, but oh well, we'll do that, whatever. I'm like, okay, what does Minecraft let you... And I click on this, I'm like, elements? There's frickin' chemistry elements in Minecraft now? I think I mean ores. So I look, there's coal and iron. I thought there was like a copper or something, but I didn't see it in that list. So I just changed it to iron for now. So when we are mining in a certain direction, let's get a random element. We'll have the player mine that element. We'll go in here. It's in the side. Change or pass in the element figure out what we're going to do. Then I'm like, hey, let's make a simple inventory. We'll use a map. It'll be an element with the amount of items of that element. So element inventory. Can be changed later if we have an inventory that's more complex. Maybe we'll just make a inventory object. But for now, this works. So we're just gonna set all of those to 0. And when we're drawing the character, we need to... Okay, then I start to write a draw text function, but once I check the documentation, I realize I don't need a new one. I already, like, literally the function I used to draw the squares on the screen would also work. So it's the same thing. I'm like, print W. No, that I also need to move the cursor before I print W. So I noticed that, and then I'm like, wait, am I already using a move print function? And then I, like, literally look at the other function. So here, the first void draw up here has move print W. That's what I'm using anyway. So don't need that. Terminal draw at 0, 0 found. But this isn't gonna work. I just programmed in a bug. But I will fix that bug pretty easily. So it did not show me the latest element found. Because, remember from last time, I have to pass in, or I have to call the begin draw, and then the end draw function. So that's why. I'm trying to change the colors to see if it's just the color problem. No, that's not the problem. Thinking, terminal.draw, It's not supposed to go in the updates, in the input handling. We need to put it somewhere else. Yep, put it up there before end draw. And then, code blocks crashed again, and I open it back up. I'm going to create a string. Yep, last event. If last event is not empty, then we're going to draw it to the screen. Not that it really matters. We could also just have it display empty thing, but why bother doing that? Found some element. I was not paying attention and did that on the wrong line. Fix that, fix that. Now, what is it not like? I can't read that error message. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, there we go. Found some gold. Yay! Found coal. Found iron. Found silver. Yay! Then in the entity, it has that map, so I'm gonna have it draw what you got in your inventory to the screen. So we're just gonna do an iterator to iterate over everything in the map. Start at the beginning, stop at the end. Iterator plus plus. I don't remember if there is a better way to do this in C++. Actually, I think there is in the latest version of C++, but I don't know the syntax off the top of my head. So I just kind of did it mostly the old school way, but using an auto. It would be the map less than sign element comma int greater than sign colon colon iterator as the type of that IT variable. So drawing out the inventory screen, we got what the element is and then how much of that element. It's not showing up because I didn't even call that function. So player draw inventory. There we go. Well, oh, nope. Why does it say gold 0, 0? Because I didn't increment the y value inside the loop. And there we go. I kind of want it a little bit further to the right. That'll look a little bit better. So try that. Hit the debug button. For some reason that wasn't working. Look, we have an inventory now. That's really cool. And now, time to commit and merge. And that's all for this session. I was like, that's a good stopping point. Also, I have to go feed a friend's cats. So, I'm going to go feed a friend's cats. Let's just get this merged in. And that will be it. Yep. Yay! Merge! Check out. And pull. Yep. So, there we go. I guess next time I should implement something like enemies and different floors. There's much potential here. We could add whatever we want. So, I have the source code in the description. It's just on Bitbucket. It's a public repository. It's actually in a repository with other little nCurses terminal games. And I don't know what I'm going to implement next because that's going to be a week from now. I actually ended up being able to record this over talkie thing same day, but later on in the day. So I guess I'll post this video next week. I'll record next week, next time I'm over there, and then post that video a week after that. And we'll see what we do. After we have, like, enemies and stuff, then I'm not sure what to do after that. I guess leveling up, more inventory stuff. Well, we'll think about it. I'll think about something. Okay, so that was kind of fun. Thanks for watching things. Bye.